Hello and welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. I am Teresa Schloop with Web Designs by Teresa, and it is my goal in life to fill the small business world with gorgeous websites that work as hard as you do. And that's part of the reason why I'm offering these Tech Tip Tuesday video series, because I want to offer and share the tips and tricks that have helped me make the most of my website investment, and hopefully ones that are going to help you make the most of your website investment as well. Now, today is October 1st, and we are starting off with a brand new quarter to finish out the rest of the year. And I am super excited to see what the end of the year brings for me and my business. But one of the things that is really important that I want to talk to you about today is making sure we're protecting that success and that our website is working as hard as we are by doing a quick little website quarterly review. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, why am I going to go review my website? It's perfect. I created it. It's great. Or I had it created by somebody professional and it's fabulous. Even if you had the best web designer in the world create your website, you still need to do quarterly reviews. And here's the reason why. Our business changes and shifts over time, which means our website has got to change and shift over time as well. Good intentions tell us to go and update that website as we make changes in our business, but life happens. Things get busy, things get crazy, things get hectic, and we don't always make the changes that we think we need to make on our website. Soon they get forgotten. And here's the downside to that. When you have outdated information on your website, you hurt the trust factor with you and your website visitors. You're setting out bad expectations that may or may not be true, and bad information that could have people expecting you to do things that you no longer do. So today I want to share with you my top 10 things to look for when it comes to doing a website review, so that this is something that you can do quick, simple, easy, without any problems whatsoever. All right, so number 10, we're going to do a countdown, the top 10 things, right? So number 10 is to look for spelling and grammar errors. I know that you probably are incredible with English and you don't worry about spelling and grammar so much because it comes easy to you. However, when you're focused on creating content, your brain is focused on the creation of your website, the creation of your content, the creation of your business. It's not focused on catching those tiny little grammar errors that may not be picked up with spell check or grammar check. And so it's quite possible you have a few of those in there. I find tiny little errors on my website on a regular basis. And I know I really need to hire my copy editor more often to make sure that I'm staying on track of things, because I always have those tiny little things. Maybe you don't have the luxury of hiring a copy editor right now. Take a moment, go through, look for spelling and grammar errors. You're removed from your content right now. You're not focused on the creation, so you're going to catch them a lot more quickly. Number 9, test out all the hyperlinks on your website, the buttons, the links, on-site, off-site, whatever the case is, and make sure that they're still working. Just because they were working when you built your website doesn't mean that web page you're linking to continues to exist. It could have been renamed, it could have moved, it could have been deleted. Make sure that those links are working. And while you're at it, make sure that any resource you are linking to off of your website, that you are opening a new tab or page so that you're not taking people away from your website forever, keeping them connected with you on the main page where they found the link to beginning with. After all, we don't want to invite people to go away. We want to invite them to dig deeper into our website. So, number 8, verify that your page and blog post formatting is set up for SEO purposes. Now, this is a tiny, tiny little detail, but if you do this as you go along and you make sure that you've got a good title with H1 heading set up, a good solid subtitle with H2, and that you're breaking up your text and not having this long, continuous list of or flow of content, those tiny little formatting things could very well be what helps put you ahead of your competitor later on down the line. And if you do it little by little, it's not overwhelming and it's going to support your visibility in the long run. So take the time to do that. Number 7, make sure that your images are clear and that they are representing you and your brand today. They may have been perfect when you launched your website, but you are wiser. You are more professional and you're more confident. And so you may very well need some new pictures that represent this new professional, confident version of yourself and your business. So take a look at those images and make sure that you're updating any that no longer truly represent you and your brand. Number 6, verify that your contact information is setting clear expectations. Your contact page is the perfect place to set expectations as to when you're available and what the best way to reach you is. So make sure that that is reflected and that you don't have this open-ended contact me anywhere, I'll support you at any time message that we often have in place. Now, number 5, ensure that your product and service details are listed out correctly and easy to understand. When you first described what you're offering to the public, what you're offering to your website visitors and your customers, it made perfect sense to you. Over time, you may have realized that it did not make perfect sense to some of your customers, and so you've adjusted those descriptions to meet the needs of those who are reading it, so it makes sense to them. Make sure that those changes have been reflected in your website as well. Number 4, verify that any price listings that you have are up to date with current prices. When you got started, you set your prices to be a certain thing. It's quite possible you've changed those prices since then. A lot of us realize that we start off pricing ourselves way, way, way too low, and we know we need to up our prices in order to deliver the quality that is important to us. Make sure those prices are reflected on your website. If somebody sees a lower price on the website and then is charged that current higher price today when they work with you, it's really going to negatively impact your trust factor with your clients, and you might just lose a customer, not to mention all the people that they may talk to. So make sure that information is up to date. Number 3, make sure that your website looks great on all devices. Now, if you built the website yourself or you worked with a professional designer, you probably understand what responsive design is, and you made sure that you have a website that does that. And that is that it resizes for the device screen that it's on so that it's always easy to read. Here's the thing. Even though your website is built to resize to the device that it is being listed on, doesn't mean it can account for images and font blending together in a way that makes your words illegible when looking at them on other devices. So take the time to look at your website on multiple devices and make sure that it's legible. Because if I'm looking at a website on a phone and I get to a page and I can't read the words because they blend in with the font or the image color in the background, I'm going to hit the back button and you probably never come back to that website. Other people will do the same. So make sure it actually does look fabulous. Number 2, we're getting down to the bottom here. So number 2, I want you to make sure that what you do and how you support those around you is clear within 5 seconds or less. You need to grab your website visitors' attention instantly. And if you don't, the likelihood of them clicking the back button, going back to your Google search page, has really just increased quite a bit. And I don't want people to do that. I want people to work with you when you are the perfect fit for them. And so you need to make sure that it is extremely clear, to the point, what you do the second somebody lands on your web page. And then the number 1 thing that I want you to make sure is that you have when it comes to doing your website review is make sure that that obvious first step of working with you is actually obvious to your website visitors. So as soon as you state, hey, here is what I do, make sure you've got a call to action, a button, a calendar, something that allows them to instantly start working with you. If they have to try and figure out how to work with you and come back later, they might not come back at all. So those are my top 10 things to look for when it comes to doing your quarterly website review. And I hope this has inspired you to do your website review. But I do want to leave you with one little piece of advice. The first time that you do this is going to be a really daunting task, and it's going to feel really overwhelming. I promise it's going to get better and it's going to get easier, especially if you do this every quarter. And remember that nothing is ever going to hurt you when you have good, solid information on your website. But having bad, outdated information on your website could cost you customers. So take the time, protect the investment of your website, and make sure that everything is up to date. And if you need any help, want any assistance, head on over to my website, Web Designs by Teresa, and schedule yourself a live consultation and review. I would love to help you and support you and to make sure that your website is truly working as hard as you do. Thanks for joining me for this Tech Tip Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you again for more videos coming up here in the very near future. Have a great day. Bye.